Hey, welcome to the weekly channel Angel Message. I'm going to take a moment to tune into the angels, see what they want to share with all of us, what kind of guidance and insight and rememberings they want to bring forth to us this week. So here we go. They're showing me a lot of like moving in a circle. So like on the kids' playground, that that thing that spins, you could sit on and it spins, and they're showing me like also like a top, like or like a dreidel, like a spin top, just like different things that spin. Um, Even like one of those hats that has like it's like a play or a kid hat, where it has like the not propellers, but things that spin on the top of its head. I don't know. They're showing me a lot of things that are spinning. It's very interesting why they're choosing different things. Let's spin. Let's see. So they're kind of showing like when you're in like a when you're spinning, when you're going round and round, say you're on that like playground equipment, or you're just like spinning in circles, like they're showing kids, especially because they love to do this. It can be fun, right? You can get caught up in that moment and it's like fun. But then you stop and you're like, whoa, like I'm dizzy. What's happening here? And it's disorienting is the word that they're bringing up. And so they're saying, be careful. So, what are you getting caught up in? What are you being swept up in? Like they're showing like a windstorm, a riptide, different things that like we can get so hyper focused and perseverated is what they're saying on something. And in the moment, it feels great. But we lose sight of everything else. And then when we get pulled out of it, we're like, whoa, what was that? Sometimes trauma can feel like that. Addiction can feel like that. Affairs can feel like that. Sometimes if we have a certain type of relationship with food, like binge eating can feel like that. Scrolling through TikTok for hours, like things that just like suck us in, and then we get out of it and we're like, oh, I don't know if that fits with my values, or that brings up a lot of shame, or that makes me feel guilt because that's really not how I want to show up in my relationships or my life, or oh, that has some negative consequences that I don't want to be having. So they're also kind of showing like a fox sneaking around, kind of like a trickster. That these things and like gold, shiny, sparkling objects. Like, what are things that feel enticing that seem like, oh, that would be fun, but kind of like beware of the consequences of it. Let's see how they can like help us to like concretely help us be more aware of these things, and then when we find ourselves in them, what we can do. Let's see if they'll give some guidance around that, bring it down to like a real life human level concept, concrete stuff. So they're talking about how we feel in our body. So what is the feeling that gets brought up where something's like, well, that's exciting, but maybe it might also not be great for us in the long run? There's probably a mix. Like maybe it's excitement, but then like there's a sinking feeling in our gut. Or there's some type of warning that's kind of going off somewhere, but that we're ignoring, either because we're not connected into our body, or we don't really want to notice the red flag because the excitement part and the fun part of it is just really, it's just too big. And we're just like, yeah, I want to do the thing, so I'm not going to listen to it. They're saying, does it have to be an either or, basically? Like whatever that is that feels exciting. So we're showing like ice cream. Like say like you're like, I really want some ice cream. That would be fun. But maybe you're someone that tends to maybe overeat, and then at some point you don't physically feel well later. In long term, if you keep engaging in that overeating of certain types of foods, like it could lead to something long term, like maybe diabetes or something like that. And so moderation is the word that they're saying. Like, could you have some parts of this thing that feels exciting or fun, but modulate it, regulate it. Don't get carried away in it. You know, get on the spinny thing, have some fun, ride around on it, but maybe don't go too fast, or at times, or go around a few times and then get off and then get back on. Don't stay on it forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, because by the time you get off that playground equipment, you're going to be all over the place, right? So alcohol, another one they're bringing up. Like, could you have a drink? versus 5, 6, 12 drinks. And pick and choose which of these things that you feel like you can engage in moderation, because there are things that are going to immediately suck you in like a riptide is what they're saying. So for some people that is substances, and for some people it's not. And that to not have shame around that, but just more notice that for yourself of like, oh, that's something that I really struggle with to do in moderation in a regulated way, or in a way that like doesn't lead to all of these consequences that hurt me and other people in my life or have larger consequences. So that's just not something that's going to work for me. And that's okay. And then trying to choose what are the other things that I can feel excitement and fun and let loose and be free and experience all this like pleasure and joy. But I don't get sucked into it. It doesn't run away. I don't get, kind of caught up in it, and sucked into it. And that, I can do it in a way that there's not all these consequences. So they're bringing like skydiving. For some people, like skydiving is a way to feel free and to feel excitement and exhilaration. And that's great. And for other people, that's not the thing. Amusement park rides, right? So what the angels and guides are bringing up is like chasing a dopamine high is what they're saying. Like, just be cautious about how much you're chasing like a dopamine high, and a quick fix is what they're saying. And focus on things that don't have as many negative consequences, that the effects of the joy and the pleasure from it are longer lasting in a positive way, and aren't just like rush of dopamine and then it drops and then that's it. Because you're gonna probably chase that a lot, kind of like they're showing like slot machines and gambling, right? It's a quick high and then it goes away and then you keep chasing it, for some people. So they're showing like kind of someone taking notes in almost like a science experiment, which is like a symbol, is like basically what they're saying is like, just be curious about these things for yourself. Notice how different things that you find joy and pleasure in, what they do for you, what they don't do for you, positive and negative outcomes, and can you do it in moderation? And if not, it's okay. Just seeing if there's something else that you can focus on, and that being connected into your body is a really good pathway into understanding what works for you and doesn't work for you, because you'll get a lot of those clues in your body.